What's going on, guys? Welcome to an interview edition of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman, and today we have two guests from ECA. The first being Ruanne Lloyd. She is the developer coordinator. And then we also have Gabriele, which is one of the lead developers. How are you guys doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Perfect. So before we get started, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Hit that notification bell to get all the new content coming over here to Learn Crypto. I did do a review on ECA as well, so if you guys want to watch that video, feel free to do that. So I guess to start, if you guys want to kind of give an intro and a brief bio on yourself and how you got involved in cryptos and Electra coin. Ruanne, ladies first.
Yeah, so I've been a developer for about 30 years of my life. I did go to university and I got a degree in computer science and computational applied maths. I've been managing teams for quite a few years. And I basically do work for a financial institution. And they started showing interest in blockchain technology and all of that. So of course, being a techie, I went in to have a look at what this was all about and understood the blockchain. And I went on to an exchange called Coins Market. And for some reason, this little Electra popped out at me. And for some reason, it sort of drew me. I have no idea why. And I sort of offered my services, saying I'm a developer, I can help out if need be. And now I'm caught in the middle and I'm running the whole development team, and it's great fun. Great fun.
That's awesome. Ivan, how about yourself?
How to make it quick. So I started developing when I was 13 years old. So I think I have been developing for maybe 20 years, something like that. I started working when I was 18 years old. So I have always been an entrepreneur, more or less. So I have set up created about 5 companies, including a startup that was accelerated by Microsoft 3 years ago. So, and I went into crypto 2 times, like many people. The first time I went it was maybe 2011. It was very, very beginning of it. And it was just out of curiosity. It was just a pure game. And actually, I lost my wallet from this time. I didn't have a lot on it, obviously. But anyway, and so I jumped back into crypto quite not far along the way. It was, I think, 8 months ago or something like that. Yes, maybe 8 or 9 months ago. And so I started by just trading like many people. And I started to try to understand the tech. And the more I understood the tech, the more I was interested into this tech.
That's
and
awesome.
I discovered Electra absolutely randomly. Just because, I don't know, one day I think it was like one of the big coin on Coins Market Cap. And so I just jumped in and just asked myself, what is this coin? And discovered an amazing community, actually. And I was kind of blown away by the community. And that's what made a difference for me to come inside this project.
So Ivan, you're not the anonymous Electra 01?
No, I'm not.
Had to ask, you know. I guess a lot of people here in the community that may not have seen the review probably do not know what Electra even is. If you were to give like a 30,000-foot view, like an overview of what Electra coin is and maybe what it's striving to be here in the future, what would that be for you, Ruanne?
Yeah, so basically we are a community coin, definitely. And, we are all volunteers and we're all contributing. Most of us have jobs during the day. So we're putting a lot of effort in the evening when we can to, sort of develop this coin. I think we basically want it to be a coin that's used every day. So we're looking at the payment space, merchants, consumers. That's where we're looking at, definitely. We want everybody to use it, not just the techies out there. We want, Joe Soap to use it to buy cookies at the local shop. So that's our aim.
Cool. And Ivan, how about you from a developer perspective? Are there any cool projects you guys are working on or that you're trying to push Electra coin further in the future here for our payment channel?
So unfortunately, I didn't really prepare a list, but actually there are quite many. But I will take just the most important ones. Obviously, the first one is there are the wallets, obviously, the desktop wallet that we're finishing right now. There is the classic wallets, the mobile wallets, but this is like any coin. There is Electra Pay with 3 stages. two that already exist in other coins, but one that is kind of different from the other one. So the first one is just the classic online payments in ECA, obviously. The second one is a little better, is just to allow customers to pay by card with their normal card in ECA. So we are working on a partnership with an exchange in order to do that.
That'd be interesting.
And, I can't give any name right now, but we have a potential candidate for that. So really potential candidate for that. So and the third part, which is also the most complicated, obviously, is to actually allow payments like a sales point and a point of sale, sorry. And the difference will be that the issue that generally merchants have today is that when they have crypto in their shop, they don't have, they have to handle themselves the billing, the accounting and all that stuff. And fortunately, I have worked for multiple companies doing that. We have worked on that also. And so we have a lot of experience with that. And our plan is to integrate that automatically. So for the merchant, it's a big game changer, because actually, if you pay an ECA in a shop, his ticketing system and his accounting system will be automatically included inside with the payments in ECA.
So that'd be easier for like end of year tax reporting and all that stuff, because everything will be in one spot. So then it's actually maybe some of these smaller mom and pop shops would be willing to give it a chance due to that. Interesting. So I guess we'll, I don't know who wants to answer this one, but I just kind of wanted to ask, how did Elektra start? Was it a pre-mine, an airdrop, a fork? What was like the distribution method for Elektra?
Yeah, so basically he did do a pre-mine initially, and then he had a bonanza where, quite a few of the initial coin holders did a stake, and it was a 24-hour bonanza. And therefore, thereafter, he went on proof of stake. So initially it was proof of work, and then he changed to proof of stake. So that was just in the beginning stages of the coin to get it growing, to get the traction. But yeah. So
yeah, I know you guys did do like a $1 billion or 1 billion coin pre-mine, which is only about 3%. Usually pre-mines are a little bit of a red flag, but I mean, you guys did state that the foundation is going to be holding those 1 billion coins and going to be using those for further development and marketing and this and that. I'm assuming based on what Ivan said with some of the projects, some of those coins are being used for that development purpose. Am I correct in assuming that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Also, that was another one of my concerns is I know you guys did do a proof of work. It was about 24 hours. You guys let like 45 days for people to really get involved with the algorithm for it. And you guys pre-mined, I think, like 18 billion coins. So a large percentage of them. Does it concern you that might affect like the decentralization by nature, because only the miners that were able to get on the network really got to accumulate some of those? Or maybe you can explain why you guys chose to go the route of doing a 24-hour kind of gold rush for your guys' coins?
Yeah, it is a concern for us, and we have been, we've been chatting about it, and we're looking at solutions. I think all coins do have a distribution problem, and we know we do, and we are seeing it, and we're seeing the effect of it. But we do have plans, and that's the main thing. We have a roadmap of how we're going to go forward with this problem and how we're going to actually even the distribution out in the future.
Okay. Ivan, do you want to talk about maybe some of those different ideas you guys have to kind of create decentralization across your network? Or
so actually, there is like the system that is there today. The thing is that, as you know, we use NIS5. The biggest advantage of NIS5 is really about energy consumption. That was the reason of the choice for this algorithm. But outside that, we have also a pretty decent network. And when I say pretty decent network, it's like kind of really awesome one. Actually, our latencies, if I'm not wrong, you correct me, Ruru, but I think are about maybe something like 300, 400 milliseconds. So it's kind of really low. However, this is a good thing, but the plan of ECA is to become an everyday currency. So obviously, we are still on a Bitcoin-based blockchain, even if it's POS. And so because of that, even if you increase the block size, like we will do actually, and try to shorten the block generation time, even with all that, you are always limited in terms of TPS, you know, and so you are very limited in any case. So actually, we started working on something completely different. This is it's kind of the first time I'm talking about it, so like.
It's good. We like when we get
first
news here on the show, so that's good.
Indeed. So I can't reveal everything because right now it's pure research and development, but it's called Athena, actually. It's just the project name. And so the idea is to get a lot of inspiration from Casper. Obviously, you heard about Casper. And the thing is that the way that Ethereum actually integrated Casper was with a mix between proof of work and Casper. So it's not the real full integration of the original Casper design. And so actually we want to do that and to be the first blockchain to do that. So actually the plan is to be able to integrate Casper fully as a full POS coin. And we plan on doing some changes on it and maybe even to, so this one first is able to handle way more transactions. So the second thing that we want to implement in order to avoid to have a blockchain that is like gigantic, which is the issue of Ethereum, by the way, and of many blockchain when they want to handle a lot of transaction. I think we want maybe to go to the double blockchain solution. You know, like what your part. The big advantage of Casper is you don't need to go back to the generic block in order to resolve your actual transaction. You can do it right now, and you just have a 50 blocks history to actually resolve, to be sure that the transactions that you're handling right now are in consensus with the network. So actually, with a double blockchain, the advantage is that you can have kind of masternodes or validators, or we don't know what they will be, but something like that. And these people, they will handle the storage of the blockchain, of the real blockchain, because it can be really heavy. And
so it's almost going to be used as like a sidechain scalable solution for Elektra in the future?
Exactly. Yes, that's the idea. And with that, we can really have crazy TPS. Actually, it's just mathematical calculation, but we are talking about something like 3,000, 4,000 TPS with a number of masternode that is about 100 something, 120, and 130, something like that.
Okay.
So, you know, the more you have kind of masternodes or validators, the less your network is able to handle transaction per second. So it's a deal between decentralization, consensus, security consensus.
You're trying to find the middle ground to be decentralized, but still be efficient.
That is always the challenge, is to decentralize and find the speed. So
yes, indeed, that's the big.
And then not to breach the security on top of it.
Yep.
Because I mean, the whole blockchain technology is all about security. So
cool.
Exactly.
The cherry on the cake, just to finish, is that, so again, it's something that is on paper right now. We are trying to build actually a simulator to be able to test consensus and see how much it can take. So this simulator can even simulate attacks on the full network. And so actually, the cherry on the cake will be to actually make kind of being able to integrate the Lightning Network inside the system. And so maybe you can push this TPS way upper than that. Because the ground, like the big thing that everybody is targeting is actually what Visa is able to handle, which is 50K TPS.
Yeah.
The question is, can we do that or not?
Can you handle 50,000 transactions and still have them be almost instantaneous? And that way they can actually be utilized in the merchant industry.
Exactly.
So I think that's what a lot of these currencies are trying to do. So it'll be interesting to see that you guys do have a plan for the roadmap there and see which couple coins can actually make it happen.
Indeed.
So now we've talked a little bit about the distribution. I know now you guys are on proof of stake, and currently the proof of stake is about a 50% ROI, which is obviously very impressive. But like I said in my review, it didn't really allow for longevity. I don't know exactly what your guys' block reward is, but the coins would get eaten up at that reward pretty fast. Now I know you guys are trying to implement the 10%, reduce the stake to 10% per year. I'm assuming that's probably part of the reason is try to increase the longevity, create more decentralized users on the network. Is that 10% in play now, or when is the plan for that to move into action?
Very soon, very soon. So basically we're looking at the next month it'll be in. What we're looking at, because that will require a fork So we are also introducing atomic swap, which is like super, super, super exciting for us. And that is also going to be implemented in the same fork. So we're trying to actually just not do 2 forks. We're trying to just do 1 fork, and then we can reduce to the 10% as well. And then we're also changing some of the rules so that everyone's rewarded a little bit more often, because often, people wait for 2-3 months before they get their staking rewards. We want to be able to sort of turn it over monthly.
Yeah, that way, even if it's a smaller reward or if they equal the same, you're keeping people happy with what they're seeing every month. They're willing to continue to stake the product and provide security and verification to the network. So that was another thing I was going to talk about. You guys do have a very ambitious roadmap. I'm looking at it right now, all in this year. I know you guys have said you want the customized desktop wallets. You got the atomic swaps coming, the mobile wallets. Do you guys think that you're really going to be able to stick to those roadmap goals? I know that was one of the things I mentioned. So I know atomic swaps, especially for a coin of your size, would be a huge feat. Ivan, do you think that the development team is on track to get atomic swaps by Q2 2018?
For now, it's okay. Like we are, I'm a developer, so everything can happen. But let's say that until now, everything is on track. And
everything's on track.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was impressed with when I was doing the review is you guys have met all the roadmap goals. I just kind of brought up that, hey, these are some ambitious targets for such a small coin. And if you guys can meet these targets, obviously Elektra is going to continue to move forward here in the future. So that's pretty interesting. And I guess it's kind of time to announce a positive. You guys did just get announced to Cryptopia yesterday, so that's pretty awesome. One of my concerns was that you guys were available on such a small amount of exchanges. Also, since you guys did do the gold rush, you might have had a pretty small holder base, which kind of worried me with maybe whales or manipulators, big bag holders in the ecosystem. So it is good to see that you guys did get added to Cryptopia. That will allow more people to get on the network. Do you guys have any future plans for more exchanges coming soon?
Yes, next exchange is coming soon. And I mean, there are basically 30 exchanges that we have applied for, but it's a patient game. You've got to apply. We can't actually give too much information, who we applied to, but we've got to be patient. We keep pushing. But, definitely we have applied. I mean, even Cryptopia, I mean, we already applied in January, and with all the issues that they had, we had to be very patient. With coins market going down, it was just absolutely awful for us. So we had a bit of a dry period, but that didn't stop us. I mean, basically during that period, the developers focused on what they needed to do, and we carried on. We didn't even look at the market. We made sure that all the developers were continuing what they need to do. And I think that is the reason why we're actually meeting all our deadlines. And, I can even say for Atomic Swap, we actually ahead of our deadline. And, the mobile wallet is 50% complete already. So we're really, really looking good. And that's the great thing about the community, because we are a community-driven coin. You've got so many devs that want to work on a project like this and keen to learn. So, you just got to make sure you manage them, but they are doing great. So we're getting quite a few devs on the team.
Yeah, I guess because I'm kind of looking at the big bag holders as a negative, but maybe it's really almost a positive because they have so much incentive and they're so incentivized to continue to work on the project because they're going to have a big reward in the end if ECA does take off.
We do expect drops from these guys. I mean, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We just hope that we're on the bigger exchanges that we can actually take the knock. We hope that they don't let go of all of it. They let go of little pieces of it over the period of time, and that in that way the distribution will get better, and then the people will be able to start using the coin more. So that's the idea, but we have definitely plans for that.
Yep. And like you were saying, with the market so down, this is really a time to work and really focus in on not trying to get the price up with the hype and marketing, but really focus in on the development and trying to get working products out in the ecosystem. Because in the end, you guys are in a sector that has a lot of competition. I know you guys are trying to implement some privacy features here in the future, which would be nice because you can be a hybrid on-off privacy or public currency, which will be good. But in the end, there's only going to be so many of these currencies that are used in real world applications, and really putting your head down and trying to get the products out to the masses is what I think is going to cause success, maybe for ECA or a DigiByte or a Vertcoin or any of these currencies here in the future. So for you, Ivan, I have a couple more questions. Now, you guys do currently have a 5-minute block time. Now, I know that you guys do in your wallet, you have like 3 separate sections where those coins get to you almost instantly. You just can't spend them until that block is confirmed. Does that really worry you with trying to be a merchant coin that your block time is so high? Or are you guys going to work here in the future to reduce that block time for Elektra coin?
So actually, for the next fork, we plan on reducing that block time to 90 seconds, but still, it's really long for a merchant. The thing is that our experience from, we are still testing that, but our experience until now, and it has been successful with Conhouse, for example. I know Conhouse is just a small exchange, but actually it's handled by a pretty famous place where I live. Actually, I'm living in Paris, and it's actually a real place in Paris that almost all Parisians know about. And actually, we work with them because what was interesting is that if you buy your ECA there or just transfer them there, they don't wait for the first confirmation. And the reason is, and they never had any issue with that, never. And we are talking about, I think they have ECA since maybe 2 months or 3 months. So actually, it's proving to us that our network settlements, like the settlement of our pool, like the consensus about which transaction will be selected on our pool is really quick. Actually, the first confirmation, we almost have never orphan blocks. Actually, we don't have them at all even. So that's what's interesting. So actually, at least until now, I think that the fact that our network is so quick, it allows merchants to accept transactions with very, very little risk of transaction being, reverted after.
Reverted or double spent.
We are playing, I admit, on the actual blockchain before the maybe next one, but it will be in a long time happen. We are counting on that in order to be able to use Elektra instantaneously for merchants. So
awesome.
This is a big advantage of POS too. In POS, you can do that. In proof of work, you can't. So yeah.
Cool. I guess that's pretty much all I really have to say. I know your community is starting to thrive over there. You got a bunch of commits over on GitHub. Your community is very active. When I put the poll for the review, a bunch of ECA people came out and voted. I think you guys got like 80% of the vote for me to even do a review. Obviously, you guys have answered pretty much all the concerns and red flags that I have presented to you. So everybody watching can kind of judge their own opinion on those. I guess, what would be a success for you, Ruanne, through 2018? Would it be to meet all your goals here, or all these projects, or are you guys really pushing to try to get some payment channels set up, or what for you would make you happy at the end of 2018 for ECA?
Yeah, I think basically, deadlines met is critical for any cryptocurrency project that's out there. So we will definitely work towards that. But I think the use case for me would be the greatest achievement that we have. The Elektra Pay working, it's growing, merchants onboarding, people using the product, because that is the idea. I mean, that's where we want to go. In 5 years' time, we want to be like incredibly big. So for me, in 2018, if we can get there, that would be fantastic.
Awesome. How about for you, Ivan, from the developer perspective? Anything you want to say?
Yes, sure. Actually, this come back to the start of the discussion is that why I chose this project, and I said it because of the community. But when you say that, it doesn't mean anything. It can mean a lot of things. And so actually, you have to know that just some months ago, I just helped a little Neo, on the project, not the foundation, but City of Zion, the people who help Neo develop the ecosystem. And so, and it was an amazing community too. But actually, the reason why I choose ECA is exactly what I hope. What would make me happy by the end of 2018 is that I think that actually the coin that we win is not the best technological coin or the most marketed fancy coin with amazing stuff. Actually, the coin that we win is the coin that has a community. Because if you have a community, actually, you can already use it within your community. So you can already start. We were doing Electra, for example, which is kind of a copycat of Amazon, eBay, only in ECAs. And so, and the plan is actually to allow people who don't want to buy on markets to sell stuff in order to get ECAs, and also to allow our community to start trading every day. And so this is by this kind of stuff that we plan on doing stuff. And just to finish on that, we also have, we have an international embassy team. And so we have kind of ambassadors in all countries, all volunteers, and they are starting to create events. And so the difference we will have with other coins that just do one event after another one, actually we have already about 80 people, and these people, they will start to create meetups, stuff like that, not crypto events, but events for people around them, and start to talk about crypto to real life people, not just crypto fans. So I really believe in that.
I say that all the time on the show too. The value proposition in the currency coins especially is the community that uses it. The more people that get on your network, use it, the more places that accept it, that's where value is going to be driven in all these currency coins. So you guys, you're not pushing a platform that's going to create a value proposition. You're pushing a currency that you're hoping to be spent within the community you were just talking about, and then hoping to expand that across the globe, hopefully. So I think here in the future, it'll be interesting to see how Elektra can continue to differentiate itself from these other currencies in the space, such as Litecoin, Bitcoin, Digibyte, all of these that people know. Also, if you guys are interested in Elektra coin, it is now available on Cryptopia, CryptoBridge, CoinFalcon, CoinHouse. I'm sure I'm missing a couple of the other small ones, but make sure to check it out. I would highly recommend going over to the Elektra Project's website, see what they got going on, because like I said, they have a very ambitious roadmap, and these two here seem to think that they're going to hit all those roadmap goals. So not only would that be good for the development of the coin, but for those that are speculators and investors, maybe you will see a little bit of gains there as well. I thank you two for coming on here and spending the time here and coming on. And as more projects come to Elektra coin, you're always welcome to come on the show. We can do a recording like this and continue to talk about the recent developments of your project.
Thank you, Nick, for inviting us. Really.
Thank you very much. It was great.
Have a good one, guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you later.